Hey everyone, it's Sean Havens with the Benefit Haven. Did a video before going over the sales cycle. This one I want to go through the warm up and on through the sales cycle individually for you. But before I do, make sure you subscribe to our channel and give us a like if you're enjoying our content so that we can keep bringing you more and more content, help you out as far as going through the sales cycle, product knowledge, sales training, those things. And we'll really get to getting you more and more to help you be more successful, convert more of those sales into, or those appointments into sales. So let's get to it here. So the warm up, when's the warm up start? Okay, when you're walking up to your appointment, and a lot of the appointments that we have done are been inside the home. So when we're walking up to the door, we want to get our mental state right. So when they open up the door, the first thing we want to do is extend our hand and step forward as we're going into the appointment. My name is Sean Havens with the Benefit Haven. I'm here for our appointment at 2 o'clock and walk through the door. That's the first thing that we want to do, right? Because if we just stand there, we're on our heels, then it gives them an opportunity to say, oh, I'm busy, or what is this about again? That kind of thing. So we want to start to get in control of the appointment by moving forward through the threshold. And that will help you out a lot. And I'll kind of do more of that training as we're going through maybe some door knocking and do that on an individual basis as well. So anyway, the warm up, okay, what are we trying to do? What are we trying to accomplish with the warm up? The first thing is, and I get this a lot, is how long is the warm up supposed to be? Now, if you've been in the business any period of time, you know that you have people saying, "Hey, what is this? Let's just get to the bottom line. What is this about? What are you selling me?" Right? If you get into telling them why you're there at that point, or you let them kind of get in control of the appointment at that point, and you move into that, well, this is why I'm here, or you're getting on your heels again, then you're not going to get to a rapport. You're not going to build that common ground. They're not going to know who you are. They're just looking at you like a salesperson. And that's not how we want to be looked at, right? We're trying to serve, we're trying to help. And we have to ask questions of them to know what's important to them before we get into anything. So you want to politely acknowledge that you're there for your appointment and we're going to go over those things. And then maybe ask a question, right? So have a list of questions ready to go. So maybe, how long have you been? We're in Vegas. How long have you been in Vegas, or wherever you're from? Okay, and do you have family living in town? Or look at something in the house, a picture on the wall. Tell me about this. Or you have a camper in the back. How often do you go traveling? Change the subject. Get to about them and to talk to them a little bit about what's important to them. Okay, because we're trying to really build rapport. We're trying to get to know them a little better. So how long is it? Well, it could be 5 minutes, it could be 15 minutes. There's two things here. You don't want it to be right away, just like that person saying, hey, what is this all about? What are you here for? What are you selling me? But you also don't want to let it go an hour, because the problem is some people get lonely and they just want to talk. Now that's fine. You can make an appointment to go back and just talk to them if you want, or have dinner or whatever you want to do. But right now you're working, right? So you're on the clock and you need to make money. Okay, you need to pay the bills. So you have to make sure that you're in a time frame. So sometimes it's 5 minutes, sometimes it's 15, but you don't want to let it go too long, because then you run into a problem of time and you're missing your next appointments, right? So you have your questions, right? So you have your questions. What is the goal to those questions? So everything is going to have a goal as far as getting to know them a little bit better, building a relationship with them, or you're there to serve them, right? So that's what you want to convey. That's what you want to do when you're in the appointment. It starts with that warm up, right? When you walk in the door, the questions that you're asking, right? They're not just random questions. They're specific questions about what you're doing, okay? And we'll get into that in a later video, why the warm up questions are important to your fact finding, to your presentation. All right, so the next thing is you want to build rapport or common ground. So the way we do this is we talk about whether maybe they've been in your town. Okay, so here I'm in Vegas, so maybe they've been here for 15 years. Well, I've been here 30 years, so we can talk a little bit about the growth of Vegas. Or maybe they have interests of traveling, or grandkids, or kids, or whatever the case is, but find some type of common ground, a sports team. Okay, here's what not to talk about. Don't get into politics and don't get into religion. Okay, you may have common ground there, but you're going to end up losing if that's the route you go. Okay, and you've heard it before. Don't talk about politics, don't talk about religion. So find that common ground because it makes you a person. It doesn't make you a salesperson. You're not just there to sell. So this is how you build that foundation, is making sure that you build a foundation of serving and relationship, because then they automatically stop thinking that you're there to sell them something, right? Because you become a person and not just a person knocking on the door trying to sell them something, trying to get in and get their money, right? You're trying to find out what's important to them so that you can ultimately serve them and take care of those problems and fulfill those needs that they have and take care of them down the road, their legacy and things like that. Okay, so rapport, common ground. Now, I would say that's how long this takes, until you can find that common ground, build that rapport, okay, until you can build that relationship and get them to understand that instead of being, telling you and asking you questions of why you're there, to them calming down and sitting back in their chair and wanting to know what you have to say, wanting them to allow you to go over what you're there to do without them having to tell you. That's just the natural process of things. Okay, so that's when you want to start to now transition into the credibility of now your experience and your credentials, right? So that could be on your card, and that's what I usually do. I have my license right on my card, a bio of how long I've been in the business. Okay, so all those things are going to be your credibility, your experience, and that's going to help them understand. Okay, I'm not just some Joe Schmo off the street. I'm here because I have a skill set. I've been licensed, FBI background check, all these things. That's why I have a license. And I have, insured everything else. You want to be able to have them sit at ease so that they know they're talking to a professional. That's where you want to build that. You're establishing the professional. You're not the plumber. You're not the person down the street or their neighbor. Okay, you're specifically there to help them with their insurance needs and with their protections. Okay, so that's the warm up. And we want to make sure we get all of this in the warm up before we transition into the fact finder. And I'm going to go into the fact finder on my next video, and that's where we're going to go into now the questions to ask and how to really transition into that. Okay, so this is a short version. I want to basically go over the elements to the warm-up. If you want the longer version and to go through maybe some live examples of how this works, make sure you go to our Mentor Haven VIP group, okay, at thebenefithaven.com. Or join our Facebook group, and that's free right now. Join our Facebook group where there's a community of agents across the country where they can help you out with this, and I'm there to answer questions and things like that. So make sure you take advantage of those at our Facebook group, The Benefit Haven, or thebenefithaven.com, and get to our mentor group where you're going to get extensive warm-up and fact-finded and all the different things that you would need to help you excel and grow in your business and transition from maybe a 20 or 30% close ratio to maybe 40, 60% close ratio, and ultimately make more money. So I'll see you in the next video.